Welcome back to the Keep Going podcast with Vin Kennedy. I'm your host, Vin Kennedy. Today, we have a special guest. This is Taylor. Taylor, you want to do a brief intro?
Sure. Hello. Thank you for having me. My name is Taylor Lindquist, and I am co-owner of Season 8, which is a creative agency, and met Vin through just the social media, Instagram world and Fit Club world. Yeah, happy to be here. 29 years old. I live in Belmar, and that's that. That's me.
Yeah. So season 8 is actually kind of where I want to dive right in.
Mhm.
So obviously you were working almost a normal 9 to 5 prior to, and you've kind of now transitioned into full time, right?
Yeah, actually, as of this coming Friday, that will be day one full-time entrepreneurship.
That's
I've
awesome.
been working, I went part-time from full-time. So I went from full-time to 3 days a week. And then now I'm ready to just do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be done, a lot to focus on. So I just have to start. Yeah, so this Friday, it's my last day.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yes, thank you.
So if you kind of just want to get into what season 8 is, like what it encompasses, what you do on the daily, and kind of take it from there.
Yeah. So Season 8 is a creative agency, digital agency. I myself am social media management / marketing. And then my business partner, Stevie, is graphic design. So we met. She was actually my roommate's sister. We met. She was always a graphic designer. She works for another company. I was freelancing social media at the time. And we just one day I called her. I was like not happy at my job. I called her on my way home and I was like, let's just do it together. We both always talked about it. Both of our talents go very well together. So I called her. She came over the next day. We talked about a name and we just started, hit the ground running. We started as like, let's just see where this goes. We had no real business plan and this like master plan. We just said, let's see where this goes. We both love doing what we do, and I think we're both really good at it. And it's been really successful. So successful that I can now, quit my job, focus more on that. She plans to leave her job in May, so we're both going to be full time. But back to what I think your original question was what is it? I manage Instagram accounts for businesses. That's like the simplest terms. We help them with their strategy, their posting, just as simple as that. Really, a lot of companies just don't have the time or want to do it. So we do that for them. We help, we do some like email marketing. And then on the other side, we do full branding. So a company wants to start and they need a logo design and a brand kit, their colors, their tone of voice, their fonts, all that. Any kind of logo design, merch design, web design, anything under that realm.
That's awesome. And so
Mhm.
obviously I know, but what companies are you currently working with?
So to name a I get asked this question all the time, and I'm
Yeah.
so like knee deep in it that when people ask like how many clients do you have, I'm like, I don't know, around like 8. I just say that number, but I
Yeah.
counted the other day. I think we have 14 total.
Awesome.
Um, so Salad House is one of them. Annex Sports is like a sports performance gym for athletes up in Chatham. Alpha Fit Club corporate page is one of them. I just started. So now that they're franchising, so the franchisees have the option to use me as well, like on their own. So Alpha Fit Club Marlboro. We have another gym. We found our niche in the fitness community. We have another gym down here in Bradley Beach called Shore Movements, another gym up north called Core Fire. We do like one-off logos and branding for some trainers like Mo and Joe from Fit Club. Where else are we at? Just got another client. They're like a taekwondo, karate for like kids. That there's more. Jersey Shore Supplements is one of them. We did the rebrand for Astroflave, which is the owner of JSS started Astroflave. Yeah, so I think that's some of them. There's
Yeah,
probably
that's
some
awesome.
missing.
I mean, I know that you obviously frequent like Alpha and you go to the
Mhm.
classes religiously, but was there like, is that it? Because like you enjoy fitness, was that kind of like more of the draw to it, or did it kind of like piece itself together?
I guess it somehow pieced itself together. I mean, it makes sense how it pieced itself together, but it wasn't like this is going to be our thing. We're going to stay fitness. And we want to expand from fitness and we want to, take on other clients. But just right now, this is working and we both love it. But I went to school for exercise science. I got my degree. I started working in healthcare. I was a rehab tech. I was a personal trainer myself at a gym. I taught classes. I just always loved that world. And then throughout my career-ish of jobs, I liked the marketing aspect of things. I liked the business side of things. So I just like kept taking jobs that were kind of in the healthcare or fitness field. Um, and then I became a member at Fit Club Red Bank when they opened. And I had started seasoning at that point. It was much more at the beginning stages, but meeting the people that I met at Fit Club like helps my business so much because you just meet so many good, I mean, I'm sure now for yourself, like you meet so many good, like-minded, like young business professionals that can just help you. Like, not that I even asked for the help, but they just wanted to help. They saw what I was doing. They liked what I was doing. Hey, I want you to meet this person. This person owns this business. This person might need your help. So I just like best money I ever spent was joining that gym. But that's how I got involved with Fit Club because Meg at the front, like she was the manager at the time. She introduced me to the Salad House team and then just started getting more involved with that crew. And yeah, so then the gym stuff just took off from there.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it really is. It's one of the best places to network because, like you said, you're finding like-minded people, and then obviously people that are dedicated and consistent, and you're always seeing them in the gym. Therefore, they're always like active and moving around. So yeah, it's a great place to network, honestly.
It's insane. Like
Yeah,
I never thought, you don't think that going into a space like that. You just, want to get a good workout and go home, but it changed so much for me. Like I used to just go to gyms to like get a workout and go home. And now I just love being there. Like I'll just go sometimes if I don't even have to work out because the
right.
people there are so amazing.
Yeah, I think obviously alpha firsthand. I know like just the atmosphere is
Mhm.
it's cool, and it's more of a community sense, which is
Yeah.
obviously great for networking as well.
Right. 100%.
So how have you found obviously a lot of people are trying to grow on social media, myself included. Like what have you found as like good tips or like what do you really focus on in the early stages?
The early stages, the number one thing would just be consistency, like getting as much out there as you can and just definitely having like a clear vision as well. Like you have to know what you want to be talking about, like what your message is or your vision is, or so if you're a business, like what's your mission statement or what kind of like customers do you want? What's your target market? Things like that. Just having a really clear understanding yourself first and then being very consistent with your posting. That's like the number one most simple thing that people just have to do. Like you have to be online. You have to put yourself out there if you want to get anywhere. Really, it's different for different people. So like if you're like for you, you want to be out there as much as you can because you're trying to grow your personal brand. And then there's another side of it where if you're a business and you might already be semi-established where you don't have to post every single day. Like you create that like, oh, I know on Wednesdays this person's going to post this thing about this workout. Like, so there is, two
Right.
different sides to it. But I think in terms of like a personal brand and like any type of online, like seasoning, even like I know we have to post more ourselves. Like you just have to get out there as much as you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think and I preach consistency and it's in anything, it's how you get better at
Yeah,
anything. And then I think from there even too, you can like redefine and kind of see what works.
right. Exactly. Like you might post like it's so crazy. Instagram is such an unknown world. Like TikTok and Instagram. You could post the silliest thing and like have no thought behind it, but that's what works. Like so it's tricky. It's an unknown world, but there's also strategy behind it. So you
Right.
just keep posting stuff and what does well, you stick with that as long as it's like something you want to be talking about. You find what works and just do it.
It's so
Like
true.
my
I was
I
just gonna bring it up. Yeah.
what? My
Your
TikTok?
video of when you guys were at dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's so funny.
I literally did that in two, it had zero thought behind it. I had seen that that sound was trending,
Right.
and I was like, "This is hilarious." Like,
Yeah.
that was just how I felt in the present moment. He like
Right.
the tickets were wrong, and he just he showed me it was 4 o'clock, but the show was at 7. I was like, "You better figure it out." So he literally ran to the
Yeah.
box office, and I'm sitting there alone, and the dinner comes. I'm like, "Great," and I was like, "This is funny." So I just
Yeah.
took out my phone, recorded that video. It's still good. It's 64,000 views now. I'm like, and now
It's
feel like
crazy.
it's my calling to keep posting TikToks. I'm like, I'm gonna ride this out, see
Yeah.
where it gets me.
Absolutely. But that too, I think that's like part of it, like where it's just the authenticity, right? Where like so I think, yes, just start posting and you'll figure it out from there. But then you'll find like what's really you, what you connect with, and then what people connect with.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it is stuff like that, right? Like it's just a funny example. Like you're sitting at dinner, he got the wrong tickets, he had to run away, like basically run, go grab the tickets, and you're sitting there alone at dinner. But
It
yeah.
was so funny.
Have you found with any clients that like a big hurdle is just starting? Because I know a lot of people have a lot to say, and obviously everybody's interested in something. And I
Mhm.
feel like I say it all the time, where like everybody could be like air quote influencer or a presence on social media, but
Yeah.
a lot of people are just deterred and scared to for whatever reason. Do you find that at
Mhm.
all with like clients like originally starting?
Definitely. And I think that's like part of the problem, or not problem, but like the struggle, um, is that some people just don't have like, it might be in them, but they feel like they just don't have that in them, like
Yeah.
that camera presence, or they just are very uncomfortable talking to people. But even for those people, there's other ways to do social media. It doesn't have to be your face talking to a camera. There's other options, which is kind of the beauty in like what we do, is because like I can take that burden for them, and I'll find the people in the business who do like to be on camera. It doesn't need to be like the owner of the company. It can
Right.
be other people. There could be other characters. A lot of businesses do that on TikTok. They'll find like it could be their intern, but they do really well in front of the camera or really well on TikTok, and that's the face of their company now, like on in TikTok's terms. But yes, I do find that that is a struggle. But once it becomes like we talked about consistency, once you get it, the camera in front of them, and then again, they're so much more comfortable. Like
Yeah.
it's just repetition. It's gonna be weird at first. It's not in everyone's first nature or whatever. Um, but in this world we're living in, you got to do it. So
Yeah.
that's just what I say. I know I'll never force anyone to be on camera if they don't want to, but then they see other people doing it, and then they see the success that this person's having. Like, oh, like okay, I'll do one video, and then keep going, and it just gets much more comfortable. I used to
Yeah.
work with a he was a spine surgeon, so like very medical doctor, like very nice guy, but very awkward
Serious.
on,
Yeah.
like so could not do a video for the life of him. And then just we did it, and now he's like doing it on his own.
Yeah.
So it just takes time, really, and just gotta push past that first awkward, because it I don't even like being on camera sometimes. I'm so used to being behind it.
Sure.
When a
Yeah.
camera's put in front of me, I'm like I freeze up because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
I had to push past the awkwardness, and like no one could tell you're uncomfortable. Like no one can feel what you're feeling. No one's gonna think you look silly because there's crazy stuff on the internet. So you're not the crazy one.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, it really is so true, and I think it's funny because, like, even how I started doing them with mortgage videos, but
Mhm.
I felt somewhat comfortable talking to my phone only because I would do these rants on Snapchat forever. So, like,
Mhm.
I would just talk on my phone about, like, motivational or, like, inspirational things, just random things, or, like, how a run went, and, like, I was just so used to it. So, like, when I started doing the mortgage videos, of course, I mean, they weren't great to start by any means, but I was a little more comfortable doing it just because of that, and
Right,
a
'cause
way
you had
I
the reps in.
yeah, exactly, and a way I really looked at it or look at it now is like, you look back at, like, old pictures of, like, your parents or grandparents, and it's like, this is what that's gonna be, and it's like,
Mhm.
now you have a whole, like, insight and, like, like, real stories, real, like, video, and I'm like, you're building, like, something that your whole family your legacy, really, that
Yeah,
it can just be watched, so it's cool.
yeah. And then they can learn something from it, whether you're
Right,
doing that in however many years or not. Like this is what I used to do. Like, and they can learn something from it, whatever it
yeah,
is that you're talking or preaching.
absolutely. And this kind of goes hand in hand with I saw another a TikTok that you posted about basically like kind of like the New Year's resolution as far as like
Mhm.
people trying new things and other people like shooting them down. And it's like if you kind of just stay in your own lane, and I think that goes hand in hand with like social media because there's a lot of people that are like, and I know I guarantee I get it, and I've talked about this multiple
Mhm.
times. Like, why does he have a podcast? And like, I truly don't know, but like, why not? Like, that's how
Yeah,
I look at it.
that's like that TikTok was the most authentic
Yeah,
version of me like I could possibly be. And it's just like I have always been this way. I don't know how or why. I who cares? Like
right.
who cares what people do? If it's something that's weird, it's I mean, to me, that's just a internal thing for that person who's
Right.
hating on someone else. Like that's all on you. I've always felt that way. If someone did something to me or didn't like something I did, I was like, okay, that's on you. But I'm still
Right.
gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Like it just like we're all just out here trying to do something cool or like make it and be happy. Like just let everyone do what they want to do and you're gonna be a lot happier. Like
It's so
it's just
true.
so simple. Like I I try to be empathetic and understanding of people who might have like, inner demons and anxieties and all those things. But for me, it's just always been I try and preach just like stay in your lane, like stay in your own head, stay in your lane. Like who cares what other people are doing or saying or thinking? Like just worry about yourself. And
Yeah,
people are going to be attracted to that, and people are going to
sure.
want to be around you and you're going to eventually find people like you. And that's just how I stay safe up here.
No, it's so true. I think we really are. We're all like mirrors of each other. So like
Mhm.
when you are projecting like, and again, not always. I think some people just like to hate, but I think most of the time, like even I'll see myself do like I'll get injured and I'll see someone go for a long run and I'm like, oh, it's so annoying.
Mhm.
Like, and I'm like, but I would be posting the same thing. Like I'm just mad I can't run. Like,
Yeah.
but it really is. It's almost like the thing maybe you want to be doing or you kind of like are somewhat envious of, even if it's not directly in your lane or specifically what you want to be doing. It's just when you see someone comfortable doing it, it's like it makes you question things.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. But so how would you compare being self-employed compared to the 9 to 5 that you were prior? Like,
Um,
do you find struggle with like because I know myself when I switched into mortgages, like just structure and schedule, and then it's kind of it's easy to build once you get it, and once you have rolling, like it's like wow, this
mhm.
is just a better system. But I feel like
Yeah.
what were your like early struggles with like being like what were the fears with going full self-employment?
I mean, there definitely are still fears. I think if we don't have them, like, you're just living too a little too comfortable.
Yeah,
It's definitely scary. Um, and I was a horrible student. Like I just couldn't care any less about school and
me too.
not even that I didn't care. It just I couldn't focus. I liked to talk to my friends. I liked to talk even if they weren't my friend, whoever was sitting next to me, I was talking their ear off. And then I would talk to the teachers. Like it just school wasn't my thing. So just focus was really hard for me my entire education. Um so knowing that as an adult now and like now an entrepreneur, like you just have to be super regimented and that's just not how I work. Like
Right.
I'm a very low key, laid back, like I'm I'm successful in my own way, right? Like I think some people are like head to the ground for X amount of time, like don't give themselves any free time. And I respect that. And I think because that makes people very successful. But me personally, like I like to, lay low, hang out, like, but my time, like I just try and be very what's the word I'm looking for? Like strict, I guess, with
Yeah.
myself in my own way. Like I think there's so much information out there on what you should do. There's these books, and again, they're all great. And whoever pays attention to them, I'm sure they're doing great things. But I just know what works for me. And what works for me is like my set hours. I'll just say, okay, like 9 to 5, you're gonna be working. If you want to keep working, go ahead. If not, it's okay. You could lay on the couch for a little bit and scroll on TikTok. So I have my own little ways. Since I haven't gone full time yet, I've had Mondays and Fridays are my season 8 work days. And I go to the office. I go to 133, and I just put myself in that environment to work. I think if I stayed home, I think I could think of a million other things to be doing. So definitely getting out of my like comfort zone, meaning my house, helps. Even if it's just setting up at a coffee shop, just like that time to focus. I just have to like set that for myself really. And now going full time, that's like one of the main things I would say not worried, but just keeping mind of that I just need to stay on that schedule. Like now every day I need to just put myself somewhere to work, whether it's 2 hours, 5 hours, I have to set that time aside. Um, and in the world of social media, it's like I was explaining this the other day to someone, like I wake up and look at my phone and there's things I could be doing for work, right? I post for my client, I engage for my client. So it's tricky to turn that off and on. I haven't really found out how to yet. I'm sure I will. Like there's never ever been a time, even on vacations. Like I went to Europe over the summer, like I'm still on my phone doing my stuff from like I mean I like it, so it's not
Right.
causing me problems yet, but um yeah, that makes it hard
The
to
balance, yeah.
yeah.
But it also sounds like you have a good system where you don't at the same time, like, you could do it on vacation and kinda not get burnt out because you are a little more balanced when you're home. So it kinda seems like it works in your favor. I mean, if you're working 4 hours every single day, but compared to someone that works, just say 12 hours for 2 weeks and then takes a month off because they're burnt
Right.
out, like, you're gonna in the long run, it's gonna
Yeah.
benefit you more. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I feel like in my own little way, I cracked my own code of
Yeah.
like what makes me what works for me and what makes me happy. Um, just a nice, good balance, and be just being surrounded by people who are kind of similar in like the 133 crew, like the West Sam, Kieran, like they work so hard and it's just contagious too. So it makes you want to work hard. Like, oh, like I can work on a Saturday. Like it's just like life is work life balance, you know? Like work is life, life can be work. Like I don't know. I think I just found a nice little balance.
Absolutely, and then, like you said, like, you're a product of your environment, so, like,
Mhm.
I attribute that to a lot of things. Like I was never really a runner, and then I started surrounding myself with this, and now
Mhm.
I classify myself as a runner. So it really is like you could directly get affected by the people you're with, or you could directly affect them. And of course, if you're positively getting affected, it's just like let it happen.
Yeah, definitely. Found some good
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah.
I
So,
started running now.
oh really?
Not really, really, but I'm
Yeah.
not that I'm being forced, but sometimes I feel like
Listen, you got the
but
coach for it. If
I know.
anybody could help. No, it's one of those things too, and I'm helping 2 friends, they're running their first half marathon, I'm helping my little
Mhm,
sister run her first full, and, like, it's a half's a little better because you can kinda, like, balance it out a little more and make people not hate running,
mhm.
but it's just one of those things, like, when you do start and, like, you really get that itch for it, it's great.
It's
As much as
addictive.
it sucks sometimes, it's great.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not there yet, but maybe we'll get there.
yeah. I'm sure in no time you'll be signing up for races. So where'd you really get, like, the courage from to, like, leave the full-time job? Like, what was, like, the turning point and, like, what was, like, your fuel to kinda push you into entrepreneurship?
Um, honestly, just I want to bring it back to the people around me. That helped a ton. Just this support system that I have, my family, my business partner is like insanely like she's just amazing. She's a mom of two, about to be a mom of three, has a full-time job, and she's like, quit your job. Like so, and she's my business partner. Like she's
Right,
telling me to do that. Like, I don't know, just the people I'm around have helped me so much. And it's not that I never thought I could do it. It's just that I never thought this for myself at all. Like
right,
it wasn't even in the cards. It wasn't like, oh, I can never do that. It was just I'm gonna work for someone else. I literally probably year and a half ago, I remember saying the words out loud. I just want to work for someone, put my head down, like have someone tell me what to do, and like that's what I want to do. I want to make money
right.
doing that. Like, and then now my world is just like completely turned around. And it's I can't believe I used to think that way, but it's like some people just want to work for someone else. I get it. Like, because for me at that time, I was just like, I just want to do what I'm told, make money doing it, and that's it. Um, so I really do think it's a product of my environment. I saw other people doing it, and I just saw the success in what we season 8 could do, and just kept doing it, the repetitions, and just getting so comfortable and confident with what I can do and season 8 can do. Um, and that's pretty much it. Now I like can't imagine working for someone else.
Yeah, I feel like that always happens. Like the same thing happened to me when
Mhm.
I was a police officer, went to mortgages, and I was like, I don't know how anybody works 9 to 5, but
Yeah.
something I've kind of been, like, thinking of now is, like, really it's just what like and I've been having this conversation with a ton of people, but it's like, what defines success to you? And I feel like
Mhm.
once you could answer that question, you kinda could find, like, a leading path in life. Like, as far as I talk to a lot of people that are the same age as my younger sister who they graduated college, like, a year ago, and I feel like
Mhm.
that's one of the toughest spots to be in, especially now because it's like, you see people all over social media just making money, which again doesn't happen overnight, but
Mhm.
a lot of people want to take the entrepreneur route because of that. And then at the same time, you have people that just these younger kids that are having tough times getting jobs because now you have people a little older switching jobs and just really switching it up. So it's like one of those spots where I'm just kind of telling people like kind of define success for yourself because if that is like if you love being a police officer, a firefighter, or my sister's an accountant, again, it's a job I don't know how anybody enjoys, but she's an accountant, but, like, her real fulfillment comes from being a mom. So it's like
Right.
accounting allows her to, like, fund the rest of her life on what she wants to
Right.
do, and, like, being a mom is her thing. So it's like,
Right.
it's really just defining it for you, and I feel like that's kinda like a great place to start, but yeah, I'm with you, like, once you get the taste of the freedom, it's just like, I can't go back.
It's crazy. And
Yeah,
because you can make your like life what you want.
right,
And again, like your sister with the accountant in the family, like there's no shade to anyone who
right,
wants to work a 9 to 5 and who enjoy, because so many people I know enjoy it. So my friends are teachers, like cops, firemen, and they love their lives and they love their jobs. And now I love my life and I love my job. But yeah, I just had that conversation the other day with someone about like success and defining it. And it's also not an easy question to answer.
oh,
Like,
absolutely not, yeah,
even myself, like my mind goes to like find like how much money, not exactly how much money I'm making, but like
right,
financial freedom, right? Like that's where my mind would go to. But then on the flip side, it's like I just want to remain to be happy. Like
right,
I'm very happy right now. I'm confident. I have a good headspace. I'm healthy. My family's healthy. Like this part of my life, I feel like this is how I want to remain. I want to remain this like I'm sure of course you could always be happier, but just added into that, like I want my business to be successful. I want to be financially free. And like that to me is a happy life. Like of course I think like the family stuff like that'll come eventually when it wants to come, when it's time. But like where I'm at right now in my happiness is like I just want to remain that way and hope for
absolutely.
more success. And yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm in a similar boat, and I think, yeah, for me, like I define success with like freedom of time, right? So like obviously then you're financially free and you do need money to fund other things. But I feel like, a lot of social media is like you need to be an entrepreneur and make like $1 million a year. And it's like you don't like 200K a
Yeah.
year is a lot of money. Like you could do a lot of things and have a lot of fun. Like
Right.
so it really comes down to like just and again, it goes back to like work-life balance. It's like, what do you want? What do you want to get out of it? Like,
Mhm.
not everybody's somebody like I know Kobe Bryant was like insane. Like he didn't even see his family most like
Mhm.
sometimes because he's so dedicated to his craft. And it's like, if that's what you want, do that. And
Right.
again, if you want to be an accountant, do that. It's just I feel like it's really like the one road narrative of like you need to grind until like your eyes bleed and it's just like crazy.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
yeah. Again, to each their own, but I think that's just like, you need some enjoyment in life.
Yeah.
Some like and you could enjoy your work. Like I love
Right.
working, but I also love hanging out with my friends, calling my friends and going to the gym or going to dinner. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people are just so one track minded, like they won't even
Absolutely.
go out to dinner with their friends. I'm like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Just I don't want to cook all the time. I want someone to cook my meal for me.
Right.
Um, yeah, it could be
It's
it.
tough. It's tough to find a balance. Yeah.
Yeah, and the internet, like some of those people, those videos, like can be very saturated and make you think you need to be making $1 billion. I'm like, what would I even do with $1 billion? Like,
Right. Yeah.
I'm
Honestly.
trying to be nice,
Yeah.
but like I don't need that right now.
Right.
I'm good.
It's true. It really is true. And I feel like that's like a maturity thing that I've learned because like I was one of those people where like if I'm extremely like cutting, like I'm not going to dinner. And like
Hmm.
that was even something where I'm like, all right, you need to like live life at the same extent. Like
Yeah.
I've learned now that I'd rather physically toss myself into things and like do like, and I know you know this world from Kieran, but like do like ultras and stuff like that
Mhm.
because it's like the mental grind from that where it's like I also want to make money and do things in that field, but I want the balance. Like and if
Yeah.
the physical thing is what brings me the happiness, I'm doing both.
Right.
Yeah. So what would you say is like your biggest fear?
Hmm. Let's see. I think just hmm, Instagram being deleted. No, my business goes to shit. I don't know.
I
I'm
think
sure if
that's
there's
a lot of entrepreneurs' fears, right? Is like it's just
yeah,
like what if what you're doing one day is obsolete or just
yeah.
doesn't work out?
I mean, obviously that is in the back of my mind, but I also think if always going to be a next thing in social. It's not going away anytime soon. So I think whatever that next thing is, we'll know about it. But I would just say like not living up to my full potential and just I fear like I've mentioned in this podcast, like I'm very just happy, content, confident. Like I hope that that remains. Like I don't even have anything to chalk that up to of why I think this way, but I just like I see some other people that like struggle so much mentally, and I'm like, hoping that that never happens to me. Like
Right.
just just remaining in my own little bubble of my world and
Yeah.
just be confident. Um, yeah, I want to remain doing what I'm doing. I think like failure is definitely a fear. But it's not like a crippling fear of like it's going to keep me up at night if I don't do XYZ. Um, yeah, I would say that
No,
if that
absolutely.
was there.
And I feel like what you said so true though too, right? Like even if obviously season eight's gonna crush it, but like you said, like hypothetically, like if Instagram or whatever they're saying about TikTok happens, whatever,
Yeah,
something like that happens, like now you're in this field of entrepreneurship and like entrepreneurship is figuring it out. So it's like
yeah,
that's what you're gonna do. So it's
mhm,
like it's it it's like almost just being battle tested is being an entrepreneur. So it's like you're here now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in with the wolves. I'm just jumping right in
Yeah.
and figure it out. And yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what we're gonna do. And that's like I think it's gonna be great. I know it's gonna be great. Um, but yeah, I think that little bit of fear though, like helps, it helps like fire you up and it helps now that like I'm legit only working for myself. I have only myself to blame. I cannot blame anything on anyone but myself at this point. So it's up to me and my business partner to make it happen. And that's that.
Like you said, it's a scary but like great place to be.
Yeah, very good. A good fear.
Yeah. And lastly, if you want to just kind of explain how season eight got its name.
That's like everyone always asks us that, and
Yeah.
some people think actually one of the salad house guys, he's like, "Is it like season it like putting seasoning, salt and pepper, like because you're spicing up the feed?" I was like,
He's
"No,
thinking of salad house. That's why.
but great
Thinking of
idea.
food.
Like that's a good play on the words."
Yeah.
Um, so that day after that phone call, my her name is Stevie. She came here. We're sitting like literally right where we're sitting in my place in Belmar. Um, we're like, what should we name it? What should we name it? And she was like, I love names with numbers in it. And number 8 has always been my number. Just I'm 8. My birthday's 8/16. My sister's 8/8. 8 was always my number in like sports. She was like, I love the number 8. She's born on the 8th. I was like, okay. And then I don't know if I have it. I have a jar of like all my old season passes for the beach, like all the past seasons. And I put it on the counter and I was like, beach badges, like what can we do? Like season pass, like it's like something you want, like people want to be a part of it.
Right.
Um, and so our original logo was she like drew out a beach badge and put an 8 in it. And so called it season 8. and then just shorted the word season to SZN because it looks cooler. And I think the letter Z is like looks good in a
Yeah.
name. And that's pretty much it. That's how we started. We are we just wanted that like beachy town vibe. So our whole thing is like locals only, but it's you don't have to be a local to feel that like
Right.
vibe of the beach town. Yeah, that's how season 8 got its name.
That's awesome.
Just tossing around like she's like, I like numbers. I said, I like 8. She said, me too. And then that was kind of
Yeah. And I like the, like, seeing 8, sending 8, like, you guys are kinda always
Mhm.
reposting people that, like, it'll
Yeah.
be like a street sign or something like that, it's cool.
Yeah. It's like, and now I see 8s everywhere I go.
Yeah,
And I feel like other people who know us like will see the same thing. So
right,
it's cool.
absolutely. But I really, really appreciate your time and the
Thank
conversation,
you.
and where can people, like, find season 8 as far as social media?
Season 8, we're on Instagram. It's szn.eight. And TikTok is the same thing. And yeah, that's that.
Awesome. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Of course.
It was fun.